Hey guys, today's video is sponsored by Beat Souls. Music and intense action gameplay collide in Beat Souls, a high-speed rhythm game where you must avoid obstacles and collect spirits to rack up stylish combos on your way to the high score. Lay the rhythm yokai to rest as you break out awesome dance moves and put on a killer performance. Cute and colorful anime aesthetics meet neon cyberpunk style for a unique look and feel to Beat Souls visuals, while the pumping soundtrack will keep you coming back for more. Special thank you to East Asia Soft and Beat Souls for sponsoring today's video. You can get Beat Souls on Xbox One, Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, and PlayStation 4 and 5. Enjoy the video, guys. Hello gamers and gamettes, what is going on? My name is Tanek127 and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I want to give you guys my endgame guide, tips and tricks and stuff like that for endgame. So, you have finished the Babylon's Fall campaign. You just got done fighting a crazy golden woman on a wild platform with all kinds of different mechanics that probably drove you out of your mind. And you are somewhere between gear level or power level 60 and 80. I'm just going to say roughly that. That's probably what you're around finishing the campaign. You could be a little bit higher, you could be a little bit lower depending on how gear drops went for you, working your way through everything and stuff like that, how much crafting and things you might have done. But at endgame, this is where Babylon's Fall truly starts to flourish. This is where you start to unlock and do everything. And your goal at endgame is to basically hit a power level of 150 and get all of your gear to plus 10. And you want to pick gear that is maximized for what you want to do. This is around the time where you want to start thinking about a build. You want to be picky about your enchantments. You want to be crazy about, your accessories. And, this is where you want to start min-maxing everything and stuff like that, because a lot of the gear you have right now, even if you're using stuff that's as low as 70, if you really want to, you can make that exact 70 piece you're using level 150, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Now granted, it's not going to go from 70 to 150 in an instant. No. You're going to grind your ass off. That's what's going to happen here. But our good old pal Isham is who you're going to be spending a lot of your time with when you're not running dungeons, because you're going to have a whole plethora of options available with my boy. Now that is crafting, whether you want to craft new weapons or armor, however you want to go about it. You can farm them by simply running skirmishes and sieges, and even, the new duel mission that's out. I haven't got a chance to run the duel yet. You can meld your current items. Now this is a very interesting mechanic that they added here in Babylon's Fall, and I do like this one. So I'm going to give you guys an example here when it comes to melding. As you guys can see, I got a level 99 chest piece here, right? It gives me an aerial attack knockback immunity, fortified 2 for enemies nearby, resistance up, and critical hit buffs, random buffs and debuffs. Now let's say I'm in love with those stats and I don't want to get rid of that piece of gear. Well, thanks to melding, right? If you find a piece of gear that's higher than that, you can meld that current piece of gear to that next highest piece of gear's level. So you guys see how my piece of gear that I really like is 99, but this other one's 100? Well, instead of getting rid of my 99 for that 100, I can boost my 99 to 100 by melding. Now, when you do melding, it requires a lot of materials. So like I said, you are going to be grinding no matter how you go about this. And that's whether, you're just farming dungeons for new gear, or whether you're farming dungeons for the materials to meld your gear, or whether you're farming dungeons for the materials to craft new gear pieces. It all comes down to the same thing, running and farming your dungeons. Now, the next thing you're probably going to wonder is, well, what dungeons should you be farming? How should you be going about this? How are you going to increase yourself slowly? Well, first and foremost, I don't recommend doing this solo. I always recommend farming things through Quick Match, and that's my personal recommendation. But however, Quick Match has an interesting feature that an issue that not a lot of people are aware of. So sometimes when you Quick Match for a campaign, skirmish, or siege, you get this random error that pops up. It only happens occasionally from time to time, but sometimes it can happen back to back and annoy you. Well, that's because the game wasn't able to find anything for the current missions you have unlocked to quick match you with. So it didn't find any people that are on any of those missions. So very rarely I've noticed does the quick match system stick you in a mission you haven't unlocked yet. It will sometimes. It's done it to me once or twice before. But most of the time it always goes for missions that you have unlocked. So your best bet and the things you want to do is you want to come to these cloisters one at a time. And you want to unlock them slowly and go through your gear level up. So, for example, these skirmishes I have here. Probably the volcanic cloister is the best place to start. Working your way up through these skirmishes slowly. As you guys can see, they get about 10, 20 gear level higher every single time you do them. Start with the Larsa mines and just work your way up higher and higher and higher. And then, work your way over to the next cloister, to the frozen cloister. Look, there's a 61 right there. Next one's 72. Next one's 78. Next one's 84. They always increase anywhere between amounts of 10, 12, and 15 and stuff like that. They increase very slowly, just for you to adapt. Now, some of these can be done solo. Well, probably all of them, depending on your build and, how tanky your character is and stuff like that. But I would definitely recommend, trying to clear them through quick match or getting a group together. But as you guys can see, they just slowly increase. And what you want to do is, what your main focus is, slowly to get all these unlocked. As you can see, I still got a few that I need to do myself. But once you get all of these unlocked, it'll make your matchmaking experience a lot easier. Just trust me on that. You'll notice the more of these you get unlocked, the a lot easier it is for you to get quick matches. That's one thing I noticed. Now, if I'm wrong about that, feel free to, just let me know in the comments section. But as I unlocked more dungeons, matchmaking got a lot simpler and a lot better. Your goal, like I said, is to get to gear score 150. And the main thing that you're looking to run right now in the current state of the game is what's called a duel. Now, the first level of the duel is for Kerr is recommended power 110, but his hard mode is 150. And that's, the top gear score in the game right now. Once you get your gear to 150, that's when you want to start working on enhancing your gear and getting it to plus 10. Now, if you are around that 110 level and you know that the gear set that you currently have is the stuff you want to keep, feel free to start working on enhancing it then, because it's only just going to benefit you, make your stats better, and give you better attributes. But enhancing is a long and grindy process. What enhancing does is it takes your current gear stats and and bumps them up with extra perks, benefits, and things like that. And enhances over here in the rebuild section. So whenever you want to enhance a piece of gear, you're going to notice in the top right corner, right where it says Mindbender for this specific staff, for example, it's going to say plus 1 out of 10. And as you guys can see, it's going to lightly increase some of the stats on this item. The critical is going to go up by 2. The Spirit Siphon is going to go up by 1, and the attack speed of it is also going to go up by 1. Certain stats are going to increase every time you get that gear plus to another level. You have to enhance it to plus 1, then to plus 2, then to plus 3, then to plus 4, all the way until you get up to plus 10. And it's also going to unlock more enhancements as well. As you guys can see, for example, the enhancement Sorcerer's Wrath 1 that's locked on this piece of gear, that will unlock as I start increasing the attributes of this piece of gear. But guys, that's about it for right now, at least, for how simple gearing and stuff like that is in Babylon's Fall. There's not a lot to it. You just grind away, run your dungeons, and there's different ways you can go about gearing. You can either craft, if you have gear pieces you like, you can meld, or you can simply just farm it and use the drops that you get out of the dungeons. The thing about the dungeons is, and especially when you're running skirmishes or sieges, the gear that's dropping is always going to scale to you. The gear that's around you in this game, it always scales to you. Like, for example, whenever you would purchase gear from the Pygmalion mender over here, he would always have something higher level as you got more progress through the game, because the gear that's in here always scales to you. When you go to craft something over here with your boy Isham, he's always going to have stuff that's either of your level or slightly higher. So let's say you're around item level or power level 100. He's going to give you stuff to craft that's like 101 or 102 or even as high as 105, just depending on, you know, what the average gear drop is for you at the game at this current time. Unfortunately, I don't know how exactly they scale that. I don't know if, you know, if the game just decides, hey, you know, you've gone up this level, we're going to start dropping gear that's 5 levels higher than you or 2 levels. I don't know how the game decides that. So if there's anybody who does have that knowledge, feel free to let me know down in the comments below, and I'll be sure to pin that comment. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up for my endgame gearing tips and tricks for Babylon's Fall. You enjoyed today's video? Smash that like button. I will see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Have a good one.